Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's gets together with family and friends and has a wonderful day. Put all this nonsense aside for a day. Enjoy your family. Be thankful for everything that you have. Everything that all your family members, all your friends, all your friendships, everything. Sometimes we overlook a lot of the good things in our lives and we concentrate on the bad things. And that just brings down your vibration and your consciousness, and you start manifesting more negative things when you concentrate on negative things. And I know there's a lot of negative things going right now, especially with the election. But all that's going to be resolved, and then things are going to be very, very good after. You guys will see. There's going to be some things y'all are just going to be dumbfounded about, and you're going to be mad that you've lived your whole life struggling and stressing and you didn't have to. So that's all I'm going to say about that, but you'll see that when it comes. But I just wanted to get on this morning and talk about what I watched or what I listened to yesterday. So this isn't going to be very long. I'm going to let y'all enjoy your time with your families. But it's kind of good news. In Pennsylvania, that's one of the swing states that's being contested, as you guys know, or you should know. The state legislators had I don't know what you call it, a discovery or a little trial where they all met, and Rudy Giuliani and his team and all his witnesses for everything that happened in Pennsylvania were able to one by one get up and discuss all the fraud that they saw themselves. These are people that signed the affidavits before a judge under perjury, threat of perjury, which is a felony. So these people aren't going to do this just because. I mean, you might have a couple who are bad people, but they have so many of them that they couldn't bring them all because they only had a certain amount of time that they were able to give to the legislators. So there was it was pretty amazing. I didn't watch. I got to listen to it because I was driving around working about the different fraud. And when it was all said and done, they all agreed that the Pennsylvania count can't be certified because of the fraud. And you guys know about the fraud, I'm sure. You know, these people saying that they weren't able to watch the counts, or if they were, even if they were allowed in where they're supposed to witness every ballot being counted, they were grouped up and put in a corner too far away to see. They were treated like garbage. Some of them were threatened. It was just amazing. So they said all their things, but the most interesting, they had this mathematician, or this guy that specialized in this sort of thing. He got up and said his piece about the irregularities of the election. Whenever as the election goes on, there's a little graph that goes up, for votes, how many votes one's getting, and how, as opposed to the next, getting over a time frame, and it should have a little smooth arch. Whoever's leading is above the one that's losing. And there were several spikes, really big spikes, that he says are just impossible to happen. He says that there was, he estimated there was over 600,000 ballots, all for Biden, in those spikes, and only 3,200 of those votes were for Trump, which is also impossible. Everybody started laughing when they heard that. I don't know if you guys watched it or not. But he even said that at 3 o'clock in the morning at one time they had over 300,000 all hit at once at 3 something in the morning, and it spiked real high. He said that even the machines, that it's impossible for the machines to count that many votes in the time of frame that it was shown on the spikes, which means someone went in and just dumped a shitload of votes for Biden all at once. Because if it was people counting, they have to pass the paper ballots through a machine, and it counts them. And it had been impossible for them to pass over 300,000 of those in that short amount of time. So that was interesting. Also in Nevada, a judge also declared in Nevada that Nevada's count cannot be certified because of the voting irregularities. Even though some of these governors are saying yes, the vote's certified, the governor cannot certify the votes. It has to be done by the legislator. So they can say yes all they want, and of course the media is gonna be all over that and say, yeah, look, yep, Pennsylvania's been certified. It's too late. It's over. It's not true. So they got this. There was I also heard, and this wasn't during this time frame, this Pennsylvania thing, but in Arizona there was one county of 3,200 people in Arizona, yet that precinct recorded 22,000 votes for 3,200 people. It's impossible. And they're trying to fix that. Also in Pennsylvania, something this guy said was the Pennsylvania, the official word of Pennsylvania mailed out 1,800,000 and some odd mail-in ballots to people. 1.8 million. That's how many they mailed out. Yet they reported over 2.5 million being returned. So there's a big difference. If you mailed out 1.8 million, but you got back 2.5 million, there's a little question mark there. It should be a little red flag. What's going on? So there was a bunch of things like that, and it was actually jaw-dropping listening to these people experiences, what they said, how they were treated, and the things that they saw, so blatant, and the people that were doing it just didn't care. So what? What are you going to do about it? So they cheated as much as they could. They didn't care because I guess they figured, and if you think about it, they're right. We've all said this before. Nobody ever gets charged with anything. Democrats, Hillary Clinton with her email server and her deleting 33,000 emails after they were subpoenaed by the Supreme Court. They said, all right, you turn over all your emails. Well, so she goes in and deletes 33,000 after that order, which is destruction of evidence and smashing her cell phones. She skated. Well, she skated then. She's not going to skate now from it. That's only because the FBI was on her side, James Comey. So people they've been getting away with everything because they've had so many people. The deep state it's so deep with fraud from the local level, like politicians, local law enforcement, all the way up to the highest politicians, even the president. Obama was part of it, and he's gonna get his too. So if they if they can prove that this fraud was perpetrated and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were actually involved in it, if they tag them for that, and say, yeah, here's the proof that we have that they knew about it, election's over. They're disqualified and Trump will win. I'm not sure if they were stupid enough to do that. They probably weren't that stupid. It's usually how those things go. They have other people in other places that take the brunt of all this in case something happens, so that the puppets that the deep state wants don't get in trouble. But they thought they were going to get away with it, and they're not. The NSA has everything. They've got the servers that these votes and stuff went to. They get all the data off of that. NSA even knows every IP address during the election, and what went through those, the information that went through those, through some kind of program that they have that normally that would be illegal because it's like spying, but you can get a FISA warrant for it, just like the Dems did with Trump and the Russian collusion. The only difference is we have proof of the voter fraud, tons of it, where they didn't have squat with that Russian collusion crap. So they were monitoring all this in real time, and I think when Lindsey Powell was supposed to drop a bunch of info last night regarding Georgia, the state of Georgia, and the governor and the Secretary of State, who, by the way, along with Governor Newsom, which is the governor of California, have been accused of taking bribes from China. So I don't know about the truth of that, the validity of that, but I've read several articles of it saying there's evidence that these people were taking money from China. So that's treason. So anyway, I'll let y'all go. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Relaxful and peaceful and joyful. And give everybody in your family a big hug and kiss, and appreciate that they're in your lives right now, and that we still have Thanksgiving to be together with, because California, New York, other places like that, they've either canceled Thanksgiving altogether, or like in New York, or was it California, says no more than 10 people in your house, and they all have to be family members. And he also threatened that if they find out that any household has more than 10, they're going to turn off the power and the water in those houses for those people. So if that isn't straight up communism, nothing is, man. That total control, and that's what they want, and that's what would have happened had Sleepy Joe became president, because he's just a puppet. He'd have done whatever they told him to do, and that was their end game, is to move this country, get rid of our Constitution, and turn this country into socialism. And they were using COVID, and they're still trying to use COVID to do it. Still trying to lock down. They want the country to go broke. They want all these people's businesses to shut down and nobody be able to work. So they'll be dependent on getting money and food and stuff from the government, because they're going to keep the country locked down. And that's how they're going to drive it down into socialism. So it's not going to happen. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving. I love all you guys. I know you guys, a lot of my friends, I haven't been in touch with y'all like I used to, and I apologize for that. It's just me now. No excuse. I guess I should try to do better, which I do sometimes. It's just, I don't know. I'm an asshole now, I guess. So, but I do love y'all. Where we go one, we go all. Happy Thanksgiving.